So going on to this, and so we see that we did this, so we replaced it for both. Let's do one more together, and let's do this. So let's go df, and we're gonna do miscellaneous feature. And dot value counts. And so you can see here what happens is, I mean, one, we notice that we have lots of null values, but we also have really just some we have very, very small amount of other features. So shed makes up for 50, which is a very small number. We have lots of null values as well. And we have lots of values that really are just almost non-existent, or basically happen one time or two times. So I'm just not going to use this feature. This feature just doesn't really seem like a very valuable feature because those categories aren't really represented enough. There's lots of null values, and it doesn't seem like a good choice for us to use. And we want to think of features that we can eliminate as we're going through this as well. So the next one is paved drive. And so then we'll go dot value counts. Okay, perfect. So dot value counts. And we can see here that we have P and N. I mean, they're really both don't make up enough, so it would be good to get this up to 100. We'll still keep the fact that there is Y and there is another category, so Y or not should hopefully be enough in our data set. So here what we're going to do is we're going to go df, and then we'll go paved drive. I'm just going to copy this, make life easy, and then what we'll do is dot replace, and we'll go, so we're going to replace the letter P with the letter N. And so just like we saw before, I want to do in place equals true. In place equals true. And then we're going to copy this, and we're going to do N test equals true. So very good. So we'll do that, run that, and we got both of those. And so again, because I'm a nice teacher, don't forget to like the video. We have all the rest done for you guys. So again, experiment with this. Again, my opinion, I think there's very few right here. It would make sense to group this into fa, and it might not. It might not. It might make sense to make a new feature for just these three categories. Again, they really don't make up a lot here. But if you had more, it could make more sense. Or really, I think trying to get this number up to at least 100 is the best. Like one category and the other category makes up 10% or 8% of your rows. But that's better than 3% of, which is 0.02% of your rows, which won't really do very well. So we'll go through and inspect these. And again, this is set up so that you can experiment and spend your time actually experimenting instead of writing the code. Writing the code is important, but also understanding how building into intuition around how playing with these will affect your final predictions is incredibly important. Going through all of these, and there are a lot. As I said, there are quite a bit. Dun 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 dun. Quite a few, and so going through the next one. So we're almost done, almost through all of these. Okay. And so filling null, getting to the filling null values. So we can't just leave null values. We have to deal with them. And so let's see here. So these are columns that I've identified that have null values. And here what we have is, so if you go df garage condition, let's just copy this. Oops. And we'll go dot value counts. You can see here we got these. So when I fill this, really, it's a personal opinion. I feel like I would want to fill this with the null values could represent garage condition is just kind of non-existent, and that might be better grouped if it was really just left blank because it was so bad that it's nothing. Might be better grouped with fa, category that makes up that's less commonly seen. So here what we can do is, so we'll go df dot, df, and then what we want to do is garage and cars, garage conditions, garage condition. And what we'll do is we'll do fill NA, and how we'll do this is we'll do fill in A with, oops, ba. And so fill in A with that. And we're going to go in place equals true. In place equals true. And so just like we did up above, we also want to make sure that we do this for our test set as well. And so very good. Okay, so we'll do this for one more feature. So we'll do df garage wall. And spell these column names correctly. It's almost better to calculate or to copy and paste column names because you don't need to build muscle memory around typing out column names. They don't often happen again. And so here, oops, I want to do the value counts first. Value counts. Oops. And so what I'm going to do is going to be professional coding and copy and paste this. And so we'll do the next one. I'm going to copy and paste this name as well. And it's good to type everything out, especially while you're learning, but there's nothing wrong with doing this as you get more practice and think, how can I make this easy to copy and paste this over and over again? You really don't want to spend too much time copying and pasting, but simple situations, there's kind of no other option to do where you're manually inspecting these. This happens to be the same value that we're going to fill it with, but very often we're manually inspecting these, so it won't be so easy, and we're kind of putting in our own opinion, and that won't be so easy to do. So we need to do these manually, and kind of making it easy to copy and paste is kind of a good thing. So filling those as well. So continue with the rest of our workflow, going through all of these, go a little bit faster, and go through all these values. It was a lot of work to do the first time, truthfully. I did not realize this project was going to be quite so large. But it's good practice. It really is good practice going through these, and it really, I think, is very valuable in just for students getting to play with all these different features. So in the next one, what I do is I have a list of my columns now that are, I want to use, or just a list of columns, and then I have which ones are objects. And then I can build a list. Basically, I got a list of my columns here. I'm going to turn off the ones that are numbers. And I write this here because I'm going to use this later on in another section just to be aware of. But here I know I've signified which ones are numeric, but all of my feature columns are left here, or my category columns are left here. So features.category. So I have a big list of all my features, and it's a big list of features. I'm going to get dummies next. So we go pd.get dummies. And what we want to do is we want to get dummies of our df data frame, and we're going to get columns equals to features cat. And so that's going to be our, and we want to do this for as well our test set. So copy and paste and write this here. I'm going to change this df to test. Okay, so run that. And you can see here we went from 100 or 81 features up to 189. So we have a bucket load, and we'll learn how to deal with those in the next section. And what are their different options? And really we're going to use Shapley values to look at reducing them. So this might be new for some of you, but this is a very valuable technique, and we're going to walk through it together. And so I will see you in the next video.